I'm Miss Nicole, the violin teacher at Elefante Music and School for the Performing Arts, and I'm here to teach you how to properly tune your violin. So, as we know, the violin has 4 strings, the G, D, A, and E, and they each come with their own tuning peg, and most will come with a fine tuner as well. And those are the 2 methods that we use to tune the instrument. So the tuning pegs are used for when you have more major intonation issues, and the fine tuners are going to be used for minor issues. Okay, so the easiest way to find out how to tune your instrument would be to use an electronic tuning device. So this guy clips right onto the tuning peg, and again, it doesn't matter which peg you clip it onto, it will work on any of the 4 pegs. Sometimes these need to be calibrated. If yours does, just set it to 440 hertz. Then once you turn it on, you play the string. If it lights up green, that means that you're perfectly in tune and you don't need to do anything else. If it lights up to the right of that green dot, that means that your instrument is sharp or too high and you need to take that fine tuner and turn it to the left or counterclockwise. If it lights up to the left of that green dot, that means that your string is flat and you need to turn the fine tuner to the right or clockwise. And then basically you would follow suit for each of your strings. Now, if you notice one of your strings had a rough night and completely unraveled, then my recommendation would be to make sure that this isn't clipped on to that string if that's what you're going to use. Make sure you clip this onto the peg that has not unraveled so you can use it properly. But if you don't have an electronic tuning device, then how are we going to tune? So first thing you need is some source to give you a reliable A. I have a couple with me here. One's called a tuning fork. You just bang the forks on a hard surface and hold it against the body and it'll give you an A. Another device is metronomes. Come with an A tone built into their memory, so you can use this as well. All right, and again, you just play and match. All right. Now, some other devices that you can use to get notes other than an A. So the reason that all these devices only come with the A string note is because as orchestral instruments, that's what we use to tune all of our other strings to. A lot of you may have not been taught how to do this yet, so until you have been, find an in-tune piano or a keyboard, or you can even go on YouTube, and if you were to look up violin E string, violin A string, D, G, I'm sure you would be able to find tones to match to as well, just until you can be taught down the road how to tune your strings to each other. Okay, so now, like we said, your violin had a rough night and one of these pegs completely unraveled on you, so what are you going to do? The first thing you're going to do is put the bow down, and we're going to do this pizzicato, alright? So if the string hadn't loosened on its own, my first piece of advice would be to loosen the peg, right? And the way that you would do that is by turning it towards you, okay? Now the reason I recommend loosening the peg is sometimes with temperature changes, the peg hole, the peg box that holds our tuning pegs, can either get smaller or get larger depending on the temperature changes. So sometimes the pegs can get a little stuck or they can get a little extra loose. So this is a good way to gauge what you're working with, and if it is stuck, to loosen it up a little bit. So once you've got it loosened, now go really slowly here, guys. Think millimeters. You don't want to break a string. So you're going to have a G playing in the background from your piano or the computer. I'm going to tune it to my other strings, and you're going to go really slowly, turning the tuning peg away from you. Using your right hand for support so that you can push that peg back into the peg box as you're turning until you land on the note. Okay? Now make sure you're pushing in at the same time, otherwise that peg can completely unravel and you'll have to start all over again. For those of you that have 4 fine tuners, you can always just get it relative, like as close as you can using these, and then use your 4 fine tuners to get it the rest of the way. For those of you not so fortunate, do your best, okay? And that's pretty much all it is to tune the violin. I hope you guys found this video very useful, and happy tuning, everyone.